Joseph was only 17 years old when his life began to fracture. He was young enough to believe honesty was always safe, young enough to think dreams were meant to be shared, and young enough to trust that family would never become his greatest wound. The Bible introduces him simply. Genesis 37:2. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. Joseph was not perfect, but he was loved deeply by his father, Jacob. Scripture tells us, Genesis 37:3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a tunic of many colors. That coat was more than clothing. It was visible favor, and favor, when misunderstood, can feel like injustice to those who lack it. Joseph's brothers saw the coat before they heard his heart. Genesis 37:4. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Still, Joseph believed in openness. Then came the dreams. In one dream, his sheaf stood upright while his brothers' sheaves bowed. In another, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. Joseph spoke what he saw, not knowing that revelation without wisdom can sound like arrogance. Genesis 37:8. So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. From that moment on, Joseph's presence became a reminder of everything his brothers feared they were not. One ordinary day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers in the fields. Joseph went willingly. Genesis 37:14. So he said to him, "Go now, see if it is well with your brothers." So he sent him out. Joseph never suspected that obedience would lead him into a trap. His brothers saw him from a distance. Genesis 37:18. Now, when they saw him afar off, they conspired against him to kill him. They stripped him of his robe. They threw him into an empty pit. Genesis 37:24. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it, Joseph cried out. No one answered. In the end, they chose money over mercy. Genesis 37:28. And they sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. As the caravan carried him away, Joseph watched his past disappear behind him. That was the day the dreamer became a slave. Joseph in Egypt. Egypt was foreign and unforgiving. Joseph was sold again, this time to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Genesis 39:1-2. Joseph had been brought down to Egypt, and the Lord was with Joseph. Those words matter. The Lord was with Joseph, not when life was easy, but when it was unfair. Joseph worked faithfully. Genesis 39:3. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all he did to prosper in his hand. Soon, Joseph was placed over everything. But faithfulness does not make a person immune to temptation. Potiphar's wife pursued him daily. Joseph refused. Genesis 39:9. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Integrity cost Joseph everything. He was falsely accused. Genesis 39:17-19. Then she spoke to him with words like these, and his master's anger was aroused. Joseph was thrown into prison. The prison years, the doors closed, chains replaced freedom. Yet Scripture says again, Genesis 39:21. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy. Even in prison, Joseph served. He listened. He cared. He interpreted dreams for 2 imprisoned officials. Genesis 48. Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell them to me, please. One man was restored. One was executed. Joseph asked for one thing. Genesis 40:14. Remember me when it is well with you. But the Bible records a painful truth. Genesis 40:23. Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. 2 full years passed. Silence stretched long. From prison to palace. Then Pharaoh dreamed. Dreams that no one could interpret. Suddenly, Joseph was remembered. Joseph stood before Pharaoh, no longer a boy, but a man shaped by waiting. He said humbly, Genesis 41:16, "It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace." Joseph interpreted the dreams with clarity and wisdom. That same day, Pharaoh spoke words that changed Joseph's life forever. Genesis 41:40, "You shall be over my house. Only in regard to the throne will I be greater than you." In one moment, Joseph went from prisoner to ruler. What years of suffering could not accomplish, God did in a day. Years later, famine struck the land. Men came from distant regions seeking food. Joseph recognized them instantly. His brothers. They bowed just as he had dreamed. Genesis 42:6. So Joseph's brothers came and bowed down before him with their faces to the earth. They did not recognize him. Joseph tested them not out of cruelty, but discernment. When the time came, he could no longer hold back. Genesis 45:1-2. Then Joseph made himself known to his brothers, and he wept aloud. They trembled. Joseph spoke with grace. Genesis 45:5. "Do not be grieved or angry with yourselves because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life." Years later, Joseph would say the words that define his story. Genesis 50:20, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Joseph's life was not painless. It was purposeful. God did not erase the pit. He redeemed it. God did not remove the prison. He used it. And the dreams that once caused betrayal became the means of salvation. Joseph's story is not about a perfect man. It is about a faithful God who is present in betrayal, patient in waiting, and powerful in restoration.